Hello guys, it's Amazing Lego 123 here, this time with another Lego City Coast Guard set to review. This is the Coast Guard Patrol. It is set 60014, ages 5 to 12, and on the front you can see the Coast Guard Patrol trying to save some people there, and then you can also see that the ship and boat do actually float. And then in the back you've got the classic Lego City hay. And then this has 4 numbered bags, the other 3 sets available which I have reviewed. And then you can see the shark eating a crab there. And just all of the little features of the set. So now I'm going to go ahead, build it up and show you it when it's done, because I'm not doing a speed build because it is a fairly big set. So yeah, I'll see you when it's done. Okay, and here is the Coast Guard Patrol. And we will start off by taking a look at this boat here. This is like a little dinghy, and it's what these stranded people are waiting to be rescued from. And we'll just take a look at those. We'll start off with the stranded male. Here he is. You can see he's got one of those classic Lego City faces and the red cap. He's got glasses there. And then on the back you can see he is wearing a vest, and it's got really nice detail on there. It's really detailed for a Lego City figure. Not saying that Lego City doesn't put a lot of detail in them, because they do. But it's just an awful lot of detail, which is really good. And then you can see it's like waves, and they start off blue and then go to red, and then you've got the surfboard on there. And then you can see his skin because he's wearing the vest, and then he's got plain yellow arms. And he is wearing the life jacket because, of course, he's riding a boat. So that is the stranded male. And then next we have the stranded female. And that's one thing, if you do put them on the chair, they can kind of fall off, but it doesn't matter. The chairs can come off. As you can see, she is holding a lollipop or an ice lolly. It could actually be a flare, so that the Coast Guard know where she is, where they are. So I'm guessing it's a flare, but it could be any of the 3 options that I said. There is her back printing, a lot of detail again. She's got the brown hair there, and then she's got that classic female Lego City face. And then of course she's got the same life jacket piece, and then there is her torso detailing. She's got some flowers on there. So that, again, is pretty cool. So those are the 2 minifigures for the boat, and then they do also come with a dog who is on the same boat. Here's our dog. It's just the classic Lego dog. It's just the plain brown Alsatian with the printing on the head, and this poor little dog's stranded as well. And then, as you can see on the back, we have got the jet, and that can move up and down, and then turn each side. You've got binoculars on there, and then a gear stick. And this is one of those Astromech droid heads, but it's not like the R2-D2 one, it's more of the newer one. So it's pretty cool that we get one of them. And then, we do have 2 stickers on the side of here. Not much detail on the stickers, but it's still pretty cool. Then you've got some grills there, more stickers along the side here, and grills, and then we've got some hooks, and then that there is a little, this part here is a bed, so while one of them is driving, you can have the other one sleeping or something. So you can have the female driving, and then while the male is sleeping. So that's pretty cool. And then you've got a sticker in there with the control panel, and you've got the glass there. And then this whole boat piece is green, which it looks pretty cool. So that's the boat of the set. And next we will look at the lighthouse, which has got a blue base plate on it to show the water. As you can see here, you've got the water, and then this is built really nicely to show the rocks in it, and then you've got this big rock piece here, which you can take it is in those two halves. So this set is a nice way to collect rocks if you want to build like a rocky shore or something. Technically, this kind of is a rocky shore. So you got the water and then the rocks on the shore, and then the lighthouse. You get 3 translucent yellow pieces there, and then the top of the lighthouse, and then it's got the red, white, red, and then all white down here. And then we do get on this a crab as well. It's a pretty plain crab. It has got the hook on the back, so a minifigure could grab hold of him. Let's say this guy, he could have gone crabbing, and he's getting ready to throw him back into the water. So it's pretty nice that we get a crab. We get quite a few sea creatures in this set. Yeah, I mean animals, because we get the dog, we get the crab, and then as you can see here, we get 3 sharks. You could have one on the water, or maybe not. But for some reason, these sharks in my set are a little different. They do actually have the gills on there, and then the bottom is different, where you can stick them to studs. So I'm not sure if they're meant to have the gills, but mine came with the gills, and that's pretty cool because I don't have any sharks with the gills. I'm pretty sure they were meant to have the gills on the great white in the Coast Guard helicopter, but mine didn't. So maybe this makes up for it. And you do actually get 3 of them, which this is a really, really good way to collect sharks if you don't already have sharks, which I didn't until this Coast Guard wave came out. And you get them in pretty much every set. So you get 3 of those sharks, because of course in Lego City, nowhere's safe. There's crime on the land and then there's sharks in the water. And basically what is happening is the waves have got up and they are bashing in. The tide is just taking them in because they can't drive. They can't drive it because the tide's too strong. And then they're just basically coming up and ramming against the rocks. And eventually the boat will just burst, and then they will eventually sink with the poor little dog on shore, which is why they have called in the Coast Guard Patrol. And I'm just moving everything else out of the way so we can focus on this thing here. This is the big Coast Guard Patrol. In fact, I'll just move the tripod up a bit there so you can see that all. Here it is, the big Coast Guard Patrol. And I'll start off at the helicopter. This is the first thing the second thing you build, but it's in bag 1 of the 4 bags. And as you can see, it's got the glass panel on the front of it, and then we have our helicopter driver. There you can see he's got the sunglasses on. Back you can see he's got some pretty nifty gear on there. He's probably also a diver because he's the only one with diving gear on. He's got the life jacket. Pretty much every minifigure in this set has a life jacket, so it's a nice way to collect those as well. And then there you can see the torso detailing, no leg detailing. We have seen that torso detailing before in the other Coast Guard sets. Yeah, here's the helicopter. As you can see, it's got these pieces here because the thing will be landing on water and floating, and it has got a mini propeller on it, and they got a nice way of keeping it sturdy. You get them pieces and then you put that on that way rather than like that, so it's better because then they stay more sturdy. And you get 2 of those on the helicopter blades, and then you can of course spin them round. And then you also have the little propeller on the back, and that there is a sticker there. That's a sticker, and you got same sticker on the other side. Then you see that arrow there? Well, basically you turn it and the grappling hook goes down, so you can have him go carefully down, try to avoid sharks, and carefully rescue the people one at a time as the Coast Guard Patrol tries to do the rest of the job. So that's pretty cool. And then on there you can see it does say lock 1, and then on the other side it says lock 2. Now you've got 2 gear sticks, and you do just sit the pilot inside this here, like that, and he fits in pretty nice. You got the green and red sirens on there because it is Coast Guard, and then some engines here, and then you can see the helipad there, the yellow H. Well, basically you got gaps in there, and then they just slot onto these pieces, so it keeps it nice and secure. You know, you can float this around and it doesn't bounce around very much unless you do it really, really hard, and then it will fall off. But it's not like, you're not exactly going to be doing that if you take this in the water, because this entire boat piece can float, and so can the other boat. And next we have one of our Coast Guard members. He has that new hat piece with the headphones on it, and you should know how those work now. Another classic LEGO City face, no double-sided face of course, life jacket, and then he's got that torso detailing for the Coast Guard, which mainly like the ones that have these torso detailings are the ones that are driving the boats and are on the boats but aren't going into the water. And then on the sides you've got these chains with these life buoys, and they are on both sides, and they are to keep this thing floating because of course it's a big ship, so it needs floating. And then you've got these lights on it, so that if the helicopter's flying at night and it's rescued someone, it needs to find the boat, it can just look at the lights and go down. So that's pretty neat. And then you've got some stickers there, and then more stickers here saying Coast Guard. Of course you've got the LEGO City Coast Guard symbol, and then another Coast Guard. And then you've got some windows here, windows up here, some ladders, more of the life buoys. That is the set number 60014. They always put set numbers on there. Again, 60014. And then moving on to the back, before I show you this entire middle compartment, you can see this here. You can see that moving. But basically, I'll just zoom in a bit for you. Just zoom in down here. You basically grab this bit here, and then you can lift this piece out, and as you can see, these rods, they do move, and then you're basically deploying the little remote control submarine in. So I guess this minifigure here, he could be controlling this, he could be using the remote control, and it's basically just to go underwater and look to see if anyone's drowning or something, so the Coast Guard can quickly act before they die. And then basically you just unclip it, and there is a clip on there, and that can spin round. And then this is the first thing you build. As you can see, it's got those arms on it, and it can it's probably got a camera on it, so that if anyone is drowning, it can quickly go grab them and bring them back up to the surface. As you can see, it's got these jets on it, and then you got the intakes at the front, some lights here, and then you just take the glass off here, and you've got the that red eye, and then you've got some grills on the back and on the top, and then it, of course, lock 1 and lock 2. Then these can spin, and because this is a submarine, if you do play with this in the bath, you could probably take it underwater, and these propellers would spin. While you have this floating, you could deploy this in under the water and then take it off under the water. And yeah, I really like the way that with these Coast Guard sets, you can play with them in the water, so it's like you can have a real scene. And then when this thing comes back, you just hook it on here and then bring it back in. Well, you have to move those back in, and then you move it in, and then you've got these life preservers here. And then as you can see, this big middle compartment here, you've got this Coast Guard thingy that spins around. There is a Coast Guard sticker on there. These do squirt water, so it's like if there's a fire and the fire brigade can't get my words out, brigade can't get to them, the Coast Guard can go and rescue them. So it's pretty much doing his job of police, fire, ambulance. And then you got more lights here, and then that light there, the main light. Then on the back we have a light there. There we go. And then another one of those astromech droid heads that goes there. And then of course you've got these two aerials on there. And then the curves, more grills, more sirens, and a gear stick. And then basically you've got binoculars here, but you can lift this whole thing up, and then as you can see inside there, we do have an entire cockpit area where the people can drive. So first we'll take a look at the sailor. He has got the sailor's hat and one of those classic Lego City faces. And then he has the same torso detailing as this guy. In fact, the next minifigure also has the same torso detailing. And he will be driving the entire Coast Guard patrol. And this guy is in a little control room. He'll probably be controlling everything. And probably that. So my mistake saying that he's using a remote control on it. It's probably being controlled from in here. And then here he is. He's got the headphones as well, and then the classic Lego City face. And I won't bother showing you his torso detailing because it is exactly the same as these two here. And then there is the back. And then inside here we have two blue chairs where you can sit them. And then I'll just zoom in there. You can see we've got a little control panel with some gear sticks, and that is a printed piece. And then over here you got another printed piece with a coffee mug. Of course, Lego City people, they like their coffee. And then a yellow steering wheel. And then at the front of this you've got another sticker there, that's where the fire thingies are. Then you've got a window at the front, and then windows at the side. And then if I just zoom out, at the back we do have a gap next to this window here. So the part at the top is giving you access to play in here, but this ladder that's down there, just move this out of the way. The ladder that is there, that is basically like where you can climb up and get into there. And then of course you've got the window, so that guy can see out and watch this thing go down into the water, and then make sure it comes back up okay. And then what you can do is, this is the next really cool feature. If you wanted to, you could just slot this whole thing off, slot it off, whatever you want to do, and then play with them down here. And it just slots on these studs here, and then fits over these flat parts. And then you got more room to play with it, and there's even windows here. And then that also gives you the opportunity to just play with this or just play with this. And that's a pretty cool idea, because rather than having it all stuck together and solid, it gives you the opportunity of what you want to play with. If you want to play with it all like this, if you want to just play with this, or if you want to just play with this. So I will just get this thing back together, because it has a lot of features. To say, it's got 4 numbered bags, and it has 3 instruction books, one for the helicopter and the little submarine thing, one for the boat and the lighthouse, and then one for this big patrol. And I'll just bring everything back together, put them all back in their places. And of course that bit there can spin. I've already showed you that. And then let's just stand the figures everywhere. Bring all of this back up, and then we shall go on to the ratings for the set. Okay, so now on to the ratings for the set, and overall I'm going to give this set a 10. It is really the best Coast Guard set they have ever made from whether you count in 2008 or this year. It's definitely the best one. Definitely worth the money, because you get 3 sharks, and maybe you could have a mistake like mine with the gills, because it doesn't show it on the box or on the instructions. You get a crab and a dog, so 3 different types of animals. You get a wide variety of minifigures. You get 2 people who are stranded, and then 4 for the Coast Guard. Really good play value and a really nice design of lighthouse, just if you want to do a water scene in stop motions or something. And yeah, overall definitely a good set, definitely recommend it. I did get this for Christmas and I'm really glad I did get it for Christmas. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.